This is a cluster subdivision to divide 19.27 acres plus or minus into 3 separate parcels and into 37 single-family lots to be located on a certain parcel of land lying and being in Indian River 100, Sussex County. The property is lying on the north side of Harmons Hill Road, which is Sussex County Route 302, approximately 0.48 miles southeast of the intersection of Zoll Road, which is Sussex County Route 48, Hollyville Road, which is Sussex County Route 290, and Harmons Hill Road, and is accessed from within the Abigail Adams Drive within the independent subdivision. The tax parcel ID is District 234, Map 16, parcels 7.01, 7.07, and 7.08. The zoning district is AR1, Agricultural Residential District, and submitted into the record, Mr. Chairman, we have a copy of the applicant's exhibit booklet. We have a copy of the staff review letter, a copy of the applicant's response to the staff review letter. We have a copy of the applicant's preliminary subdivision plan. We have a copy of the previous approvals for the site and the notice of decision for these. We have a copy of the TAC review comments, including a letter from County Engineering, a letter from the Department of Agriculture, a letter from the Division of Health, a letter from the Office of the State Fire Marshal. I would note we've received 1 comment letter and 7 mail returns. Thank you.
All right, we thank you. Chair recognizes Mr. Fuqua.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Jim Fuqua. I'm the attorney representing the applicant, Sussex Group Partners, LLC. With me are Tom Tipton and Ben Gordy on behalf of the applicant, and Ring Lardner from Davis Bone and Friedel. As Jamie stated, there was an exhibit book submitted for the record containing information about the application, including the Section 99.9C report and an environmental assessment and public facilities report. This is an application for a subdivision approval of a 19.3 acre parcel of land located on the north side of Harmons Hill Road for a 36 lot single family lot subdivision. It will be a cluster subdivision. The original application was for 37 lots, but the site has been revised to 36 lots. The parcel is located next to the existing Independence development, and this addition will be part of that development, subject to all the rules and regulations of Independence. So it's being called Phase 13 of Independence. The Independence subdivision actually has frontage and entrances on both Route 5 and also on Harmons Hill Road. Independence contains 332.7 acres. It was approved as a 455 single-family lot cluster subdivision with extensive recreational amenities and open space back in January of 2005. To the best of my knowledge, the original AR1 cluster option was created by an amendment to the zoning ordinance in August of 2004. And Independence, which at the time was originally called Indigo Run, was one of the first, if not the first, AR1 cluster subdivisions that was reviewed and approved. Of the 455 lots in Independence, all but 4 of them have homes constructed on them and have been sold, and the remaining 4 lots have homes under construction. The 193-acre parcel before you tonight was not part of the original Independence development site plan. The 19.3-acre parcel was listed for sale, and the applicant, after discussions with the Independence Homeowners Association, determined that it was appropriate and in the best interest of all the people involved to purchase the property and to develop it as Phase 13 of Independence, rather than have it developed by a third party as a separate subdivision that would be adjacent to Independence that could possibly be inconsistent with the design and high quality of the Independence community. The proposed 36-lot addition will utilize the 2 existing entrances to Independence, so there's no new entrance being proposed. There'll be no new access to a state road, just the ones that are already approved for Independence. The only change actually to the existing Independence site plan is an internal street connecting from Abigail Adams Drive to this additional part of land that goes across a very small portion of open space between lots 274 and 275, and that has been agreed to by the HOA. There will be extensive landscaping provided to minimize any impacts on adjacent and nearby properties, both outside of the development and internally within the Independence development, and Ring will explain that when he reviews the site plan with you. Phase 13 would contain 36 lots, which on the land of Phase 13 is a density of 1.86 lots per acre, well under the 2 lots per acre provision. The overall density of Independence with the addition of Phase 13 would only increase the density from 1.37 lots per acre to 1.39 lots per acre, again, well under the 2 lots permitted. The existing utilities of the development would be extended to serve Phase 13, and that involves Artesian Water Company, Artesian Wastewater Management, Sharp Energy, and Delaware Electric Co-op. Stormwater management will meet or exceed DENREC requirements. There are no federal or state wetlands on the 19.3 acre site. The parcel is not in a flood zone. There are no archaeological sites or historic sites associated with the property. The site is not in an excellent groundwater recharge area or wellhead protection area. The streets in Phase 13 will be private. Basically, they will be part of the Independence community, part of their common elements. The site is in the fire service area of the Millsboro Fire Company, and the applicant will be responsible for any entrance modifications or roadway improvements that DelDOT may require because of the increase in the number of lots. As I said, Phase 13 will be part of the Independence subdivision. Residents will be members of the Independence HOA. They'll be subject to all the benefits of the development, including access to the recreational facilities, and they'll also be responsible for the obligations, same as other residents, including initial assessments and periodic assessments of home ownership. So with that, I'll have Ring review the Phase 13 site plan.
Thanks, Mr. Fuqua. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission. Ring Lardner with Davis Bonafide, a principal and professional engineer. As described by Mr. Fuqua, we're proposing an access off of Abigail Adams Road through some open space. The developer is proposing enhanced landscaping in this area as a screen for the existing lots in this location. The buffer that was previously there before the parcel will remain intact, so that lot line, the lots aren't getting any closer than what that lot line is, so the buffer will still be there. As part of that separation, there will be no lots back to back. As the road comes in the community, it will be curbed and guttered with sidewalks on one side of the road here, and then come down into a typical cul-de-sac, down this way into an alternative cul-de-sac in the T-shape. Same with this direction here. All 3 of those cul-de-sacs are allowed per Sussex County standards and the fire marshal, just different ways to provide fire protection and turnaround abilities. Within the open space here in the middle, where the developer's proposing a pathway. Material still yet to be determined, having heard the conversation earlier in a previous application, but there will be a pathway to that open space, along with some benches, just to allow residents some passive use. Stormwater management will be per DENREC standards and regulations. It is located here because that is the low spot of the site, so that we can try to maintain the grades as feasible as possible. There will be a 20-foot landscape buffer here along these lots, 30-foot landscape buffer on this side as well as this side, and that generally describes the site plan this evening.
Mr. Lardner, can you again just describe where the 20 and the 30 feet were?
Sure. The 20-foot is along this proposed lot here up to the end of this cul-de-sac,
Okay.
Mr. Robinson, and then it's 30-foot the rest of this parcel, and then this side is 30-foot the entire way.
Okay.
And then it's 20 foot around the inside, correct?
And 20-foot inside, correct.
No, I mean around Michelle.
Oh, around this piece here, yep.
That's 20 right there?
Yes, 20-foot.
Okay.
And that's the code.
Yeah.
Here.
No, it was for my notes.
Yes, sir,
That's why I
understood.
just wanted to make sure that I had that. Thanks.
And I do have some proposed conditions. Let me just mention condition. I have conditions A through H. Conditions A and B limit Phase 13 to 36 single-family lots. They provide that Phase 13 will be an addition to and part of Independence, subject to the original conditions of approval. And conditions C through H are actually just some of the more standard conditions that the Commission has been placing on other subdivisions recently. And that would conclude our presentation, other than any questions you may have.
All right, sir, we thank you. We'll see if anyone on the commission has any questions for you, and we'll start with Ms. Ellie Stevenson.
I didn't until I saw an email from somebody, I'm assuming who lives in Independence, and they were wondering if all construction traffic could come in via a temporary access road off of Harmon Hill Road, and that all construction material, concrete cleanouts, and debris be kept within Phase 13 and not transported through the current development. And basically, it's just saying, can you just not drive through the development to do this?
Yeah, and this was an issue that was discussed with the HOA, with the developer, and basically it's the developer's intent to seek from DelDOT a construction entrance from Harmon Hill Road. So everything would be within the Phase 13 property. However, DelDOT has to grant that construction entrance. If DelDOT, for some reason, wouldn't grant it, and I doubt that that would be the case because Harmon Hill Road is not a highly traveled road. But if they had to use the internal road system, the developer would be responsible and has agreed for any repairs, maintenance, any things that are caused by any of the construction activity.
I would certainly hope, ladies and gentlemen, here. Now look, you're all going to get your chance to speak, okay? Not now. Okay. I would certainly hope that our friends at DelDOT would be sensitive to the safety issue here and let these, if this gets approved, let them have some type of access, even if they have to go through one of their own lots to do it, to get the traffic out of that development. That construction traffic should not be in that development.
Yeah, and I don't mean to imply that there's any intent.
Come on, guys.
I don't mean to imply there's any intent of the developer to come through Independence. It's just that we don't have the right to have a construction entrance until DelDOT approves that.
And believe me, the folks sitting up here get that because we deal with this all the time. We can't make DelDOT do anything, but we can sure ask them and prevail upon them, and all of these people can ask them and prevail upon them.
But again, I just want to emphasize that is the intent of the developer, and we'll do everything possible to have some type of entrance from Harmon Hill Road.
I would think that would be easier on you all around.
Well, we agree. I'm being too lawyer-like and saying I don't want to say we're going to do that until DelDOT says we're going to do it.
And then just just because it's written in here, it says all existing drainage issues within the current development be corrected before the end of summer 2022. We don't have any, just so you know. I can only look at this development. I can't say fix something that's somewhere else. Otherwise, I'd have the hand of God on me, and trust me, it would happen. But anyway, this is what we're looking at, so I can only address drainage in this piece, and that's it. That's all.
Okay, Mr. Hopkins.
No questions.
All right, Mr. Mears.
No questions, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
None for me, thank you.
White House. Council.
None for me at this point.
Okay, I have no questions at this time. That was the one thing I was concerned about, the entrance issue.
I guess the only thing I would say is those cars move very fast down Harmon Hill, coming around that corner. And Mr. Lardner, how far is it from that, from the edge of the property on the left-hand side, or that west-hand side, to that last lot, if you were to put a construction entrance in on the lot further to the right? That's what you guys were talking about when I was out, right? If they can have a construction entrance. Not have to drive through the development.
Right, yeah.
Mr. I don't have the dimensions in front of me. We would look to have the entrance here at these two lots, because the stormwater management would have to be installed up front to meet the regulations. So the construction entrance would be for these two lots. And it's far enough away from the curve, it's far enough away from the existing entrance that I think DOT, from a entrance standpoint, would
That's cool.
find that. But again, at the end of the day, we can't guarantee, but we are going to apply for that entrance.
That's probably far enough away, they come around that corner and see what's going on.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's see if anyone here has an interest in your application. I suspect there might be one or two.
Yeah.
Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor